In today's episode, we're going to be talking about something particular, and that is modeling. And no, we're not talking about fashion modeling, at least in this episode, but rather modeling defined as an example to follow or imitate. So here's a cheesy question for you. Do you want to become a better manager or a leader in the organization where you're at? Of course, the answer is yes. Now the question is, are there other people in the world who are doing a very similar, if not kind of the same tasks as you're doing in your position, and then they're doing an exceptional job, that they are great at it? Obviously the answer to that is yes as well. So here's to connect these two things, talking about modeling, is that if we follow and imitate what successful people in that position are doing, and we model that, and we do those same things, we will get the same results. So for instance, if I want to become a great piano player, and I'm like, how could I become a great piano player? It's going to take 1 minute of research to find out that folks who are exceptional piano players, they spend 8 hours plus a day practicing their craft and they've been doing that for years. So me doing it 2 hours a week is not going to cut it. Let's talk about great managers or great leaders in any organization. Have you taken the time to investigate or study what it is that they're doing that is making them great at what they do? If not, then how are you going to get there? If you don't know what you're working toward, if you don't know what you're working toward and how it actually looks like in different aspects, then how are you going to measure how you're doing? For instance, on a scale of 1 to 10, how am I doing in this particular aspect of the job that a great manager should have? So that's what we want to talk about today for your specific position as a manager, particularly at a restaurant, because that's what we're talking about, but this applies to any position. This concept I learned from a lady who's a business coach. Her name is Marie Forleo. What would you do if you were the best at what you do? Or better yet, how would you do it? Again, talking about as a manager and a leader. If you were the best front of the house manager, if you were the best kitchen manager or a lead or whatever, or a sales manager, it doesn't matter. What are some of the things you would do, and how is it that you would do it because you're great at it? All right, let's make this a little bit practical and bring it down to earth. So here's what we're going to do. I'd like you to grab a piece of paper, and on your paper write down the following. So we're going to write 5 to 7. Now you can go as 10 different things or whatever, but we're going to say like 5 to 7 skills, tasks, or duties that you have currently in your position as a leader. For instance, if you are a kitchen manager, some of the 5 to 10 different tasks, duties, and skills could be, doing inventory, ticket times, resolving conflicts, doing the schedule, different organizational skills maybe. If you are front of the house lead, for instance, assigning closing tasks, delegation skills is an actual skill that you can learn how to delegate and what have you. Resolving customer concerns, for instance, or how to give friendly service, different stuff. You can list those 5 to 7 things out. Next, I would like you to fill in the blank, and that's going to be in your worksheet, and that's how it goes. If I am great at what I do as your position, how would I do your number 1, number 2, number 3, all of those things? So the question is, again, we want to write and list those tasks and duties out, and then I'd like you to ask yourself, if I were great at what I do in my current position, it doesn't matter what it is, my position, if I'm great at what I do, how would I do whatever those different tasks are? So here's the purpose of this exercise. It seems really simple, But the vision here is we need to know what are we working towards. First is what it is that we're working towards. Then the other question is how are we going to get there? And our job as the leaders of the organization is to facilitate that growth and help you along the way to get to that level and offer that accountability, advice, encouragement, or coaching as we're helping along you rise to that level that you're working towards. So today we're just going to figure that out. What is it that we're working towards? Then in later episodes, we're going to talk about how are we going to get there.